What up, motherfuckers? It's another episode of World 11 Podcast. Before we start, you can, as always, find us at our shiny new home at world11.podbean.com. That's all one word, all spelled out. You can also check out the YouTube page that is almost there, where we're just sanding down the rough edges and getting prepped to make it all shiny and pretty and new for you. You can also catch us on Google Play Music, Spotify, and this should be, the iTunes feed should be gone by the time this goes up, and I will be putting up a new iTunes feed. It will take a little bit of time, but once the new iTunes feed is there, I'm going to start blasting out posts on the Facebook page and the Twitter page, which are also things that you guys should check out, with links to fucking everything. This is also the first episode where we're no longer on Shout Engine, so if you didn't make the jump, that's on you. You were warned. But that also means you're not hearing me. So, whatever. You'll figure it out. I left you notes. Yeah. So, as always, I am your host, Larry the Boozy Wonder. Joining me is Jonathan Shiny Head Legru.
Hello.
Josh. Not John. Oh my God. I'm already exhausted. I'm 3 glasses of champagne and half a mix in, so fuck it. Josh Shiny Head Legru.
Wow.
Hello.
Yeah, it's because we were talking and I mentioned Jonathan Frakes and Jonathan stuck.
Yep.
Yeah,
God
excuses.
damn it.
Excuses.
Josh, do the Riker maneuver.
Make it so, number one.
And Kathy makes us run on the Twitch channel. What's going on?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
Oh, we're good. We're good. So let's jump straight to it. With Oh My God video games. Kathy, what have you been playing? I know what you've been playing, but other people might not know what you've been playing. What have you been playing?
Well, let's see. I have quite a few things that I've been playing. Of course, my usual Fortnite. Just finished up the 14 days of Fortnite. That was a fun event where, give me a second, sorry, where for the 14 days towards the end of the year, they had a different challenge that you had to do, and it was each themed, kind of like the 12 days of Christmas. So, one day it was like visit 2 candy canes. On the second day, visit 2 candy canes. On the 12th day, it was destroy 12 snowflakes. So, that was kind of fun. Watch.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why is it 14 days of Fortnite? That seems like such a fucking arbitrary number. I don't get it.
You know why it was 14 days? Because you have that smirk on your face. And I am not about to explain it. God damn. So anyhow, the 14 days of Fortnite. See, I didn't fall for it, though. You were hoping I wasn't paying attention. And I'd try to start explaining it to you. No. Anyhow, no, they ended with so every day when you completed the challenges, you got a new gift, which was something like a new emote or pickaxes. The final thing was a new glider. So, see, that's what I like about Fortnite and Epic. They, you can spend money to buy skins, emotes, different things, but I know I'm boring you, so you got to drink more.
No, I just
but
ran
they
out.
don't. But they do these type of things to those who don't maybe have the money to spend, and you get a lot of free stuff. So nobody is ever completely without special.
They do a lot of things for the community, which is nice.
They definitely do. Well, I mean, if you look at their store, I mean, they're doing free games every month or so. They're going to have a free game offered. So they're taking their Fortnite money and giving it back. So, but the other cool thing during the 14 days of Fortnite is they brought back a lot of their limited time modes. So every day there were 2 new modes that were just back for that day, which is a lot of fun. Yeah. But it was fun. And then New Year's Eve was great because starting, I think it was 8:00 in the morning, Central Time. At the top of every hour, they would do an in-game event where they would drop a disco ball from the sky, and they would do a countdown from 10. And when it got to 0, everybody who was on the board would start dancing And then
if
they
the
would
countdown from 10 didn't have Casey Kasem, it wasn't any good.
well, no, it didn't because they probably
Trademark.
couldn't get yeah.
They're having
They probably
problems.
didn't want to get sued for
Again.
that one.
You know what did have Casey Kasem counting down from 10?
What? Oh
The
God,
original
what?
1980s animated Transformers film.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. That I did
That's
know.
just one of many reasons it's fucking awesome.
I know
And
that.
so's the new Transformers movie, actually.
Yeah,
saw
that's what
that
you're saying.
Transformers movie in the theater. A little off topic, but
Well, my husband's a big fan of Transformers, so I may not be a big fan, but he is, so I know all about it. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, and I got to ring in the new year, not only with all my East Coast followers, but my Central time zone followers as well. So that was kind of fun. And then Hollow Knight, I finally got past the Watcher Knights, which
Nice.
were the bane of my existence, and shut up. You helped. And I was very grateful for the suggestion. That did
just
make
when
that
Larry
night.
got banned.
No, he never gets banned from my. No, this was he'll send me messages later on when he's watching the stream, not live, but he watches the recording. So, like a day or two later after he's watched it, I'll go in and I'll find messages. Well, you should have done this. You should have done that. It's like shut up. But no, it was very helpful. I got through the first Dreamer, the Watcher, and then went back to Deepness, and I found the second Dreamer, the Beast, and now I'm in the Queen's Garden, and I'm lost again. So, but I think I was getting tired, and I'm like,
right.
I'll take a break from it. I'll go back in, and then I'll want to explore. So, but
wait till you get to deal with the flower.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, fuck that flower. Fucking bullshit. Stupid. Fucking. Ah!
Wow, he's triggered. Watch, I'll probably have no problems with it and take me 2 tries.
Yes, you will. All right, here's your challenge. You got to make it from one side of the map to the other side of the map without using the stag.
Okay.
And you can't get hit.
Oh, that'll never happen. That I could never do. I'll try it someday.
Flower.
That's the flower. Okay.
Yeah.
I may have to try that someday. Just
Like,
randomly find.
There is an optimal path, but even that is still hard as shit.
Oh, I bet. But so yeah, so that's where I'm at. Just exploring that area, and then I got my capture card, and it worked, and I got to stream Super Smash Ultimate, so I was so excited. I haven't played a Super Smash game in forever, so it was kind of fun to get back into it, and started going through the adventure mode, but I forgot. It was funny because when I first started playing it, I was button mashing again, and I'm like, what the hell? I can't do anything. And then I'm like, oh yeah, this is what this does, and it just took me a while to get used to the controls again, but yeah. And then the last thing is just a mobile game. It's called Brawl Stars. It's from the creators of Clash of Clans, and it's just a multiplayer, like arena fighter type party brawl game where you're basically just shooting a bunch of people, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's kind of like a nice little. It's not a. Oh gosh, I just forgot what Fortnite is. Battle Royale shit, but it's just like little games where different types of modes where you're either trying to collect a certain number of gems and hold on to them for a certain time limit, or you're trying to eliminate everybody off the board. So that's pretty much it. Not much else.
That's enough.
It is. That's plenty. And Riker, what have you been playing?
All right, so I finished Red Dead 2. And
Did you?
Yes, that
Nice.
was pretty awesome actually. There's one major complaint. I wish Dylan well, they don't even know. They haven't finished it. I have. So
it's kind of hard for them to tell you what
it's not a spoiler by any means, but the story is great, and the end of the story, the game is all about Arthur Morgan, his story, until it's not. There's 2 epilogues after chapter 6 and they're all has to do with John Marston setting up Red Dead, the first Red Dead.
Okay.
So I honestly, I mean, it's great
So the
content.
sequel isn't really a sequel; it's a prequel.
Well, yeah, it's a prequel. We knew that going in.
Yeah.
You know, it was a prequel to Red Dead, which was a sequel to Red Dead, whatever. You know, Revolver. It's kind of Inception kind of thing. Basically, though, I would have been totally fine if they would have spun off that epilogue crap and gave it as DLC. Because the game in itself before that was over 100 hours, and I didn't even do any of the I didn't do any hunting or crafting. I mean, I was just kind of
None
like
of the piddly
mainlining
shit, basically.
I was kind of mainlining it. Yeah, the hunting and crafting, and it was fun, but I'm not really, if I don't have to do it, I'm not going to do it. I mean, especially with a game that's way over 100 hours anyway. It was a great game, great experience. I would have been fine if they would have just spun that off. You know, if they would have spun that off, but that was fine. I mean, it was great. I understand why they did it because it served two purposes. It was to set up Red Dead, and the second purpose was to open the open world back up so you can go finish all the crap you didn't do. So like I could go back and actually do all the hunting if I wanted and all that and get all the trophies and all that kind of stuff. So it was okay. I really liked it. Like I said, I liked the story. I liked how it ended. But you know, it got to this really high point and it was just over. And then it was just like, oh, it's done. And credits are gonna roll. Nope, epilogue. You know. So I was like, okay. So after that, I delved into PSVR pretty hard. I opened up all my games that I got, which now have visuals. This is my demo disc that I used for the whole first day. It's basically every single thing on there is pretty awesome. Let me see here. Farpoint. Cannot go wrong with this. It's pretty awesome.
Okay.
I want to say that the scale is what gets you. Like there's the opening cinematic. You're kind of like in the front of Jupiter and there's a rift in space.
Ooh.
And then everything blows up. But then you get sucked onto this planet and you crash. But when you can actually do like 360, you can turn around and see your shadow, stuff like that. That's what makes VR so cool. It's just the immersion. And it does take a little while to get used to it. I did get a little dizzy in a few points and had to stop. And now I'm just like, I've got it down. And my wife actually, I had her put on the headset yesterday. And I was behind her just in case if she was going to fall, and she was kind of wobbly. She's not really a gamer that way. She'll play tablet stuff and a mobile stuff a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But she loved it. So she's like, and then it was like 15 minutes after she stopped playing, she goes, "Can I play again?" So now I've got her, and I played Moss. I'm going to say this is awesome.
Talk to me about Moss. I
Okay,
really want to check out Moss.
I've only played like 15 or 20 minutes because I just wanted to play it just so I could talk about it tonight. But the way they do these platformers is super cool. Like you are looking at the screen, and let's say it's a left to right platformer, for example, with like interaction in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually control the camera, and then you're controlling the mouse in a 3D. It really reminds me a lot of Hollow Knight, to be honest. The way you control him and everything. And so you jump down, like for example, this first one, you just start out, you're kind of in this beginning part, and you have to figure out how to open a door. It's not hard at all, but it's kind of acclimating you to the 3D of how 3D and the VR is. Okay. So it's, if you watch a stream of it, you would not get it because you're looking at it on a flat screen. But you can actually go in behind objects, and then you can maneuver yourself by looking to see different portions of the screen, so you can actually get a better viewpoint and everything. It's pretty good.
Oh.
I like it. Like I said, I'm going to get more into it, but Farpoint was where it was at for me. I was really playing a lot of that. I played about 3 hours of that, and I think it's only like about a 4-hour game total.
Okay.
But you can play it over and over, and there's cooperative modes. There's different modes. Let me see what else. Okay, Creed. That was one of the pack-ins that came with it. It was good. It's good. I just didn't really want to get too much into boxing. I'm starting to like lose my breath. So I'm like, okay, I need to stop playing for a while. And let's see what else. I got one more. I have two more games, but only one more that I tried, and that was Astrobot. And Astrobot is awesome. It is like Mario 64,
Oh, cool.
a platforming. You basically rescuing these little robots that are scattered throughout each level, and then you're picking up coins and things like that. And when there's like a sun behind you, so you do project a shadow of yourself, and things look at you, and
Oh,
it's really
neat.
cute. It's super neat, super cool. It's just like I had no idea this was what VR was like. I would have been in it long ago, but these games have just started really coming out in the last year
Right.
or so.
Yeah.
So it's really coming into its own. I think people are, and I'm not getting any of the motion sickness, and I was sensitive. Like I get sick while reading in the car.
So do
So
I. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I'm sensitive to it, and I haven't really gotten sick, and
Oh,
I haven't really gotten to the point where I'm feeling like I'm dizzy or anything. Like the first time I put it on, it was kind of like I did get a little bit of it, but it only
right.
lasted.
Because you're adjusting.
Yeah, it only lasted, and I knew what to kind of expect.
Hmm.
So, and I started out with Farpoint, which maybe wasn't the best game to start out with because you do have to
Hmm.
control your movement with the analog stick,
Okay.
and your whole screen moves at that point because you're playing in a first-person type mode.
Right.
Whereas, like an Astrobot, you're controlling the robot, and so you're kind of moving around, and you're just seeing it from a third, kind of like a third person, like three-quarter view almost.
Right.
But you can move, by physically moving in the space.
Right.
So, and that's pretty cool. And what I love about PSVR also is that because everything is displayed on the TV,
Hmm.
like my wife can sit and watch, and she tells me like, "Oh no, over here," or they have game modes where they can play with an extra controller and somebody else can
Oh,
play with it.
cool.
Yeah, so they don't have to have the VR headset.
Neat.
Yeah.
I can see some potential in that for like Wii U style asymmetric gameplay.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
there are some games that I don't have that are kind of interesting that way. Like they do Kathleen's favorite game. Was it Don't Stop Talking or Everybody Explodes or
Oh,
whatever?
keep talking
Keep
or
talking. Yeah.
keep
They
talking
have
and
that
nobody
in
Keep talking
explodes.
to
VR.
Yeah.
nobody
They
explodes.
have that
Yeah.
in VR. And
Really?
the person wearing the headset um has different options than the people that don't. And and
Oh, okay.
yeah, and so they've got, it's kind of it's interesting how they do it because they
Yeah.
obviously can only have one headset hooked up right now to a PlayStation at a time, so nobody else is going to be able to have it. But
Well, and the point is that they can't see the bomb, so
right,
should be the only
right.
one. Yeah. So
Well, so what it
that's
is,
cool.
I think how they did the VR version, I haven't gotten it yet, but
Mm.
the person in VR can't see the stuff that's projecting on the screen, but everyone else can.
Right.
Okay.
So they're trying to explain to you how to disarm the bomb while you're doing it in VR in like a
See, and that's
three-dimensional space.
the kind of thing that I was thinking is, where one person's got that really pulled up into it view, whereas everybody else kind of gets, like in theory, a top-down view of an entire arena and kind of gets to play God, and it's intentionally lopsided type deal, and that would be fucking fun to me.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And what I've noticed is that the person with the VR headset, you do see a lot more detail than the people that are watching on the TV. Like my
Really?
wife will mention something like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm getting this little guy over here. I'm seeing this," and she's like, "I can't see it." I'm like, "Well, it's right in front of
Oh,
me."
Right.
And I'm just
but
thinking it's
her
because
view.
maybe it's just because she's not used to looking at it because it is different when you're the person just looking. But
Right.
Yeah.
it it's almost fantastical, and I know I gush a lot about it on our chat, and I've been talking a lot about it, but I'm telling you, I was a total skeptic on it. I did not
Mhm.
think I thought this was going to be a wasted thing purchase for me and just another thing to collect dust. But I'm trying to I'm like, why can't all games be VR?
Well, you're making it. Yeah, one of my biggest things of why I haven't tried VR was because of the motion sickness. Now,
Right. That's why I went that way too.
I'm in the same boat as you. Now, when we just got back from Disney World, I did go on like flight over Pandora, which is pretty much
Yeah.
like a VR, and I did okay with that. So, but hearing the issues that you had and that you were able to kind of move past that, it's making me think, well, maybe we should do some VR. And now you have to have a PlayStation 4 to do it,
For
correct?
this one, yeah.
Okay.
Is it a 4 or PS4 Pro?
No, you can have either.
Is it?
Like if you have the Pro, like I have a Pro,
Right.
it does give you enhanced frame rate and
Mhm.
enhanced refresh rate.
Yeah,
I
because see,
could
we
see
would
that
probably
making
have
a
to go
big
with like the
difference, too.
Oculus. We would have to go
Right.
that route because we don't. I'm not going to
4 or
drop for
5 or
PS.
something. Yeah.
We're not dropping for. I'm sorry, I don't support Sony or Microsoft.
Right.
It's either PC or Nintendo. That's it.
Well, and they are
Sorry.
coming out. Like
What are
I
you
did
running
hear-
then? Linux?
Yeah, Linux or Unix. That I did hear that Oculus is supposed to be coming out with a version 2 of their headset too. So we'll have to see what that looks like. I'm sure it'll be a lot better. Good day. She says good day.
She does. Oh God, that's too beautiful.
So that is kind of what I'm playing.
Right on.
I think that's enough.
So correct me, and you're gonna forgive my ignorance here for a second, but am I right in thinking I saw a like a PSVR Go thing where you don't need the system?
Ooh, I
Or did
think
I
that's
just-
Oculus Go, I believe.
Okay,
That's
okay.
$199, and it's all just it's a headset, it's totally self-contained.
Right.
And they have their own.
Do
they-
that.
Well, they've got their own app store
Mhm.
for that.
Okay.
So they've got their own VR games that you can buy for that, and it's
Now I'm
got.
wondering if the stuff
Yeah.
on it is any good though.
I'm hearing it's good. I was actually going to buy that before I bought the PSVR.
Okay.
My brother was going to pick it up, and I don't know if he did or not. He's one of these guys that says he'll pick it up, and then he'll go buy a whole new PC with an Oculus. So you'll just,
So-
I won't, I won't know what the cheaper version will actually be like.
Right. So I'm wondering how the Go stands up to, like the full version with an actual, rig behind it kind of thing.
Right.
Right.
I've read some reviews on it. I heard it was decent, and for what it does, it does more like a smaller experience games. It's not quite as immersive, and it also does it's great for watching. You can also with the PSVR, which is nice, and I know you can do this with other VR headsets, so you can watch 3D movies.
Mhm.
And they are way better because you're not wearing the actual goggles. You're seeing it in
Right.
3D on 2 screens on your face.
Man, could you see playing Metroid Prime in VR?
Yeah.
That would be fucking sweet.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. That some of this stuff, once you see like Astrobot and you see these like really cream of the crop experiences right now, you realize the potential for this is like incredible. Like if
Oh my
Nintendo
God.
and got on board with it, like upgraded the Switch for example, and came out with something like that, it would just be
Zelda. Oh my God, the game. Oh, it would explode.
right. And I mean they've done, they did the Virtual Boy back in the day, but
Oh, that sucked. Had it.
yeah, I still have mine. It's in a box in the closet.
I don't know what happened. It was my brother's. I just remember playing it. And what the hell are we doing?
They only sold 700,000 of them, so I mean, it wasn't like
I don't know where my brother did with his. Who
probably
knows?
like everyone else. Just it broke, and then they just got rid of it because I remember they
No,
were
he
really
might have
easy
it.
to break. They're really easy to break.
He might still have it. He pretty much has every single console ever made
Oh, then he probably has it still. I'm sure.
somewhere, but I don't know for sure.
Is the
But
stand that came with it, the 3-legged stand?
Oh
Mhm.
God, that tripod was terrible.
And they actually
that's like my
somebody
favorite
makes-
episode.
I think it might be Mad Cats.
Of-
They make an
yeah.
actual replacement for it.
Oh, cool.
Really?
Yeah.
That was my favorite Angry Video Game Nerd episode. Was him reviewing that.
Oh God, I haven't thought about James Rolfe in forever. Jesus.
That was a big kind of misstep. But if you have it and you have some of the games like Jack Brothers,
Hmm.
that game is over $300 just the game.
Ooh.
So I don't think you're missing much though if you don't have it.
No, you're definitely not.
No.
It was a
I mean,
nice
I've-
novelty Christmas gift.
Right.
Right.
Tragic. Oh. Speaking of though, favorite James Rolfe angry video game nerd thing though, I will forever love the Battletoads episode The two of them just sitting on the couch jamming out to the pause music.
That was a good one too. Yes.
Oh God! Back in the heyday. I've seen some of his more recent-ish stuff, and it feels like it's kind of lost its flavor.
And it's kind of a
Yeah.
time for everything too, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It feels like it's just generic now, as opposed to having that distinct personality that it used to.
Well, that was a article that somebody did. Was, these YouTubers who've been around for so long, why are they starting to lose their following and stuff? And it's because a lot of them say, or this article mentioned the fact that yes, they're just so generic, they haven't rebranded themselves, or they haven't been doing anything new.
Yeah, they haven't.
Same tired stuff.
Yeah, but
Anyhow,
What you been playing, Larry?
well, I am with the very little time that I have, I still can't seem to wrench myself away from Dead Cells. It calls to me because it fits into the tiny pockets of time that I do have. Now, that being said, thankfully some of that is changing here soon. But I did take a little bit of time today, and I played a little bit more of Bendy and the Ink Machine, and I was doing okay with chapter 3 until I just hit this last part of it that I'm not yet through, and I've just met what is it, Alice the Angel, and the character's neat, but this whole it continues to reiterate on the fact that gameplay wise it doesn't do anything fucking interesting. It's literally just follow a character, whack a couple things, do a fetch quest or 5, and then maybe you can advance again type deal.
I gotcha.
mm-hmm.
It's so disappointing in that fact because, I
Aw.
mean, in terms of like story and aesthetic, it has so much to offer, and thank God it does, because that is the saving grace of this game. Like, by all rights, I should have just put Bendy down and not gone back to it. But the story genuinely fucking interests me, and the ambiance is phenomenal, and the
looks
writing
cool.
is not bad. It's just gameplay-wise, it has nothing interesting to fucking offer. But in terms of like mood, it kind of feels like I'm pretty sure I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It feels like Steamboat Willie fucked BioShock, which is awesome.
And you're playing it on Switch?
Hard copy, baby.
That's fine. You're entitled to your wrong opinion.
I'm sorry, I like actually owning my games.
I own all my games.
You do until the servers go down.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, but when your daughter loses one of your favorite games for an entire year, then you have to go out and buy multiple copies because she continues to lose it. And then at the end of the year, you find it was in her room all along. But if it was on my digital, wouldn't have had that problem. Just saying.
Well, she loses something, that means she then learns to take better care of it.
Well, it was mother's game, so Mom was not too happy about it.
So, but that's why my child has some of her own games first to learn how to take care of things. Just saying.
Feel the pain. I feel the pain.
So, but yeah, but Bendy's good. I shouldn't say it's good, but it is fucking good.
I was compared to Yono.
Right. Fuck, I thought about turning it on again this week just to see if maybe I was wrong.
If it was as bad.
And I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I just stared at the icon on my home screen angrily.
You should have your
Fuck
daughter
this
play it.
icon.
You should have your daughter play it and see, what she thinks.
And give her have her review it.
Yeah.
Right. Her review will be stickers? Stickers? She's got a fascination with stickers. That's like her favorite thing in the world right now is putting stickers on everything. So
You should get some of those window clings. Then they can just keep
Yeah.
pulling them off and putting them back on.
yeah.
Dollar
No,
stores.
she likes her little stickers. It's kind of cute and adorable. So, but yeah, that's most of. I'm trying to think if I played anything else interesting. I fiddled with Hollow Knight a little bit just to fiddle with it because my child actually asked for it by name. She'll like if she sees me playing the Switch, she'll come over and she'll sit on my lap and go, "Bugs, play Bugs."
Aw.
That's how she asked for it. But she likes watching me or anybody play Hollow Knight. She likes
Sure.
watching Bugs. So that's a thing for her and it makes me happy. So
Well, that's how I started with my kids. I was playing actually Skyward Sword is what I started my kids on.
okay.
So, yeah, Zelda games from the beginning. Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword.
I love Twilight Princess so hard.
You know what? I got 3/4 of the way through that game and never finished it.
Really?
Oh,
I got to that
really?
point. I got to that point where you're shifting the statues. What is that? Like halfway through? Not even.
Shifting statues.
You have to like do a pattern or something like that.
Oh, yeah, you were in
Oh,
what-
God, that was like maybe halfway through.
Yeah, like halfway through.
Yeah.
I just like,
when
you know
you're-
what? I said no. I don't feel like
what
it.
is it like
And
the Sanctuary or whatever the hell it's
that was the
called?
launch.
You're
at
trying
launch.
to.
Yeah.
It's where you have to jump from square to square in the.
Yeah.
Is that the one? And then the statues move with you.
Yes.
And where you're trying to get into the Temple of Time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got there and I was like, you know what? No. And I just never went back.
That's where I went into Game Facts and yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I fucking hated that puzzle.
Yeah,
I was just
It
so
was the
stubborn
worst.
about it. I mean, this was like I bought this at launch, and this was at launch in what 2006 or whatever it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
No,
no,
I-
I'm not doing this. I'll play something else. So I put in Wii Sports again, and that was about it.
Yeah, nope. That I got it at launch too, and when that was what I would play for my daughter because she was born that year. So it was like, oh, you can sit here in your little seat and watch me play.
Right. Right.
I started her early.
You know what the first video game my child sat up, like held her own head up to watch
Hmm.
was
What?
That's right.
Left 4 Dead 2. She liked watching Daddy kill some zombies.
A lot of stuff going on the screen. So
Oh
a lot of
yeah.
action.
Well, that too, and right about the same time, we were also watching the current season of BattleBots, and she fucking loved watching BattleBots.
Nice.
Okay. I
So
get it.
that was fucking awesome. So
Yeah, no, they were into the games, and that's actually how I taught them to read was Skyward Sword because they were about 3 and 4, 3 and 5. So
okay.
I'd sit there and say, read that.
Uh-huh. Like, you want to know what's happening? Work it out.
We're going to read. So
Yep.
that was story time. So not only did I get to play the games I wanted, but they got to learn how to read. So
There you go.
parenting 101.
Right. Turn it into something you want to do.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's what I've been playing. So that means
Cool.
this is about where we say break. So we're back. Dylan has finally made it home to us. This is the back half of the show where we either talk news of the week or, like this week, we take a deep dive on a subject. And Eddie and I have had this argument, but I don't think it's one that we've really gotten into since all the new folks have joined us. So we're going to revisit physical and digital this week. Yeah, because Kathy has been expressing some very strong opinions on the subject over the last week or so in our little chat room. And so I thought it'd be fun to just kind of cut it loose on the show. So just to kind of lay the groundwork here, I'd like to know for the audience sake, where does everybody sit? What's your preferred, physical or digital? Let's start with Dylan.
At this point in my life, probably digital.
Okay. And Josh.
It's a little column A, a little column B. If I'm collecting something, if it's like Nintendo, especially Nintendo, I want to pick it up physical. If it just also depends if it's a game I want to play more than once. I usually like to pick it up on physical. Like Red Dead, I picked up physical just because I had the opportunity to get it. But I do a lot of digital purchases too, and I mean it's unavoidable, especially with indie titles and everything, and that's why like Limited Run is so great. If you want something, you can probably get it, or something you can get something good. Other than that, though, I do a lot of retro collecting, so obviously I'm all physical with that stuff. So that's pretty much where I'm at. So I'm kind of, I would say, and the modern stuff, it's more like 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree mostly with that.
Okay. And Kathy.
I'm kind of like Josh. It depends on the system. If it's Nintendo, I tend to go for the physical copy, only because I don't have the storage space on the Switch is just horrendous, and I have not yet had I keep forgetting to get digital or one of the memory cards
SD
for
card.
Yeah.
SDC or whatever it's
yeah.
XH.
So we do more the physical for Switch Nintendo games. However, if that wasn't the issue, I'd be digital all the way, because ever since we got our computer, I found it's just so much easier to use and actually more cost effective, as I have learned over the years with regards to physical copies getting lost or damaged. And I've had in plenty of stories of where that's happened, and I've spent more money replacing physical copies than what happened with our digital copies last year. So
Okay. All right. And as I've made no secret of, I sit firmly on the physical side of the fence. I will buy physical every opportunity I can. I so much so that when something comes out and it's digital only and I really love it, and they announce later on down the line that, hey, we're doing a physical copy, I'm like, fuck, well, there goes a double dip right there. So Celeste was one of those just in the last couple days for me, because Limited Run put out their physical version of Celeste, or put up orders for it on January 1, and that they did. There's open pre-orders for the standard edition, but they have a really slick collector's edition, as they are often to do. And the collector's edition was limited to 2,500 copies worldwide. And I did manage to get my hands on one, but after I got my order in, I kept refreshing the page just to see how fast it was going to go. Within 2 minutes flat, it was sold out. Just gone. Like, damn, that took no time. So,
well, that game is amazing.
And the bitch of it is that this is one that, if you go back to some of the early episodes from last year, I wanted to say this year, but I'm like, no, it's not this year anymore. It's last year now. When Celeste came out, I've got some mixed feelings on it. Like, it's okay, but it didn't super grab me. But I've been thinking recently, like, I want to go back to it and take another crack at it and see if it grabs me, or if I can sink into it harder than I did before. And having this collector's edition is a perfectly good excuse to go back to it again and reattempt.
Like, I want to love Hollow Knight. Like, everything is there for me to love it, but that game makes me want to destroy my Switch into a million. Like, I just want to murder everyone and everything when I play that game. So I'm just like, I'm gonna just take a break, and then I never came back to it after I took a break from it. Those fucking Mantis brothers.
Oh, the Mantis Lords?
Oh my god, they were easy.
Dude, I love the Mantis Lord fight.
That
And
is
now-
a fun fight.
Kathleen's better than Dylan too.
No, the Mantis
She's better
Lord
than
fight
Eddie
is-
last week, so you didn't listen to that one, Dylan.
Oh God. No, I love the Mantis Lord fight because it is
Yep.
so rhythmic.
Yeah, it's a
Once
good
you
one.
understand their pattern, it is so rhythmic and it feels so good to play. You just got to pick up on their pattern.
Well, it's like most of the battles,
It is.
the mini
It is.
bosses
Yeah.
and the bosses. You just pick up on that rhythm, and
I would just like fuck up a jump, or I would like hit the wrong button at the wrong time, and like I don't know,
Right.
that game is so like if you're hitting your right combos and doing the right things, it's beautiful. But like you push one wrong button, and that game will punish you.
It's tough but fair, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
It is your screw up when you die in there. You're like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
yep, I did it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's just like, dude, I don't. I could play Breath of the Wild, like.
Right.
Well, it's funny. I just find that game relaxing, even though there's times where I'm like, "Fuck, how did I screw up again?" But I find that game very relaxing, and I think part of it's the music, and I don't mind exploring. And I'm not usually into
Soundtrack is
explore.
great. Yeah.
I don't usually like exploring areas, so this one I'm having no problems with it. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, the
There's so many
soundtrack is
backlog games on my Switch that I still have yet to get through. Like I still haven't beaten Breath of the Wild. Like I'm.
You're not missing much.
Oh.
You're not. As a huge fan of Zelda games, I was highly disappointed.
I really liked the first phase of the Nightmare Ganon fight, though.
Oh, I thought the battle, the first phase was amazing. The end was anticlimactic, and I'm somebody who really likes it when they do those end credit scenes, and this just kind of felt wah wah.
Yeah, but I genuinely loved their rendition of Nightmare Ganon. Like he actually looked, he looked the fucking part.
Oh,
which
the game was
awesome.
wonderful. The game was wonderful. The battles were amazing. I had that game was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
But the ending just
My favorite thing to do in that game is just use my amiibos and like drop random tests from the sky, like, fish and shit. I'm just like, wonder what this amiibo does. Bing. Oh, hey.
Yeah, just watch it. Make sure it doesn't drop on your head. That's how I got eliminated once. I wasn't paying attention. The chest dropped on Link, and whoops, game over.
Yeah.
Well,
I've got to get back into. I still have to beat Red Dead. I still have to beat Breath of the Wild. The time is just not there between.
You're preaching to the choir, man.
And D&D and the show, and I'm just like, gotta get everything in.
Preaching to the choir, brother.
Try to make time to spend with the wife.
That's very important. Yes.
Yes, it is. So, but yeah. So let's get on track here. Kathy, you talked. No, don't be sorry. You talked a little bit about some personal experience that's led you to digital over physical all day long. Let's hear a little more on that one.
Okay. So again, not knocking the physical, but when I got my Xbox 360, I got it to specifically play Skyrim, and of course I bought it used, and I bought the game used, so I didn't drop the full price for it. But after about a month, the game somehow the disc stopped working, so I actually had to go out and buy another copy of it. So all in all, I spent $30 when, So that was kind of like, oh, crap, I keep dropping money just to get these physical copies. Last year, we had gotten we had just bought our computer. It was sitting on my desk, which is about 3 feet off the ground, along with an external hard drive. My son knocks it off the desk, the computer tower and the hard drive. And for what we do is we put all our games on the hard drive. Now, of course, the hard drive was busted. Nothing to do. Surprisingly, the computer, nothing happened to it. That's why I love our computer so much.
It's only playing Fortnite, so, you know.
Clearly, nothing's taxing it that hard.
Well, you
it
three
can
on
run Fortnite, but I hear it has problems trying to emulate Light Bright.
You know, if it can tolerate you three, if it can tolerate having you three on my screen, you know, and it isn't like smoking over here, I think we're good. But no, the hard drive, yeah, busted. But we didn't lose any of our games. I didn't have to pay to re-download all my games onto the new hard drive. So I didn't have to spend the extra money, you know, replacing my digital copies of the games. And I've got tons of digital copies. When it comes to the physical copies, they can break, they can get busted, and they can get scratched, and they can stop playing. I can't tell you how many Nintendo cartridges that happened to us where the game became unplayable. So, and if you don't have the console to play it on, what's the point? At least with my digital, I can replace my whole computer setup and still have all my games, and I don't have to pay an additional $1 to replace them. They will always be there. Now, unless, of course, Steam blows up or any of my other accounts everywhere else, you know, all of a sudden, you know, World War III happens and
you got bigger problems.
Lose everything.
You got bigger
yeah,
problems.
I mean, playing games is not going to be, downloading digital copies or physical copies won't matter at that point. But that's why I look at it as digital copies are more cost effective. And it's not just because the ease and the download. I mean, I'm willing to drop $60 for a physical copy of a game if I really want it. But if I had to, when I look at the long run, the chances of me losing that physical copy, which happened last year, I had a copy of Skyward Sword that I got for Christmas. All of a sudden it disappears. We can't find it. We bought it, replaced it. Just last week, my daughter was cleaning her room. Oh, hey, we found it. So we had dropped another $50 to buy a replacement copy. When we had it, it's like, and now we're not going to get that money back. So there's just that cost effectiveness.
You can get some of it. You can trade it in. You can sell it. It's yours. You can do whatever the hell you want with it.
I understand that, but I'm not going to get the same amount of money back. And since I don't like
how much is a copy of Skyward Sword going for?
Oh, I think this one actually was only $30, but I said $50. But...
I know, but how much are they going for? Like $50, $30?
$30, I think. Yeah.
Are they 30?
I think usually the Zelda games are a lot pricier, even the old ones, because Zelda games are very hard.
Yeah.
People don't trade those ones in. It's very hard.
That's a game I don't have. I might buy it from you.
There you go.
You might want it. No, because we're actually looking to take. Oh shit! I better tell my husband not to take, because I'll take it out of the. No, we actually went through our old games, and they're planning to take them back because my son wants FIFA 2019.
Oh well, if he's going to do that, if you got a plan for it, then don't worry about it.
No, trust me. I would rather give it to you, and it comes with the 25th anniversary.
Oh, the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, is pretty freaking awesome. That was rare. That I was surprised we actually got that disc with it. So anyhow, off track again. I'm good at doing that. But yeah, no, digital. I can do and I can also get my Microsoft games on my computer without having to buy an extra console. The only thing is Kingdom Hearts. I wish that one I could get, but if the rumors are true, sounds like I won't have to wait long.
Right.
So
it'll come. Mm-hmm. And Dylan, you're kind of on the same side of the fence as Kathy there. Let's what brings you to the digital over physical?
Convenience mostly. Like I go, especially like, so for my Switch I try to buy physical copies. But for the most part I like buying digital because like I go 2-3 times a year, go visit family, I go out of town. I like to be able to like just boot up a game without having to, bring a bunch of discs or bring, cartridges, whatever. Just be boop, switch over, switch on the fly. Not to mention, like Kathy said, you don't lose them. They're there. You could delete them, re-download them, whatever you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the benefit of physical is that you can trade them in. You can get some money back. But for the most part, like for most of my games digitally, like I normally catch them on like a dumb cheap sale. Like, I don't know, Steam sales.
Yeah.
Are just ridiculous. Like I bought. I'm playing through Pillars of Eternity for the first time, and I picked that game up and number 2 for $15.
Right.
On the Steam winter sale. Like just dumb. Like,
Well, Dylan brings up something good. Is that if you're a PC only gamer, digital first of all is the way you're going to have to go.
Right.
It's just
But
it isn't a choice anymore.
When you're on a console, there is not really a price benefit to having, between the digital and the physical right now.
Right.
There are sales, and they do run like flash sales, and like Steam, like Steam does a summer sale and winter sale and all that. They do kind of do that, but I really, and it's because they need the retailers. They don't want to cut the retailers out of everything.
Right.
So a lot of the sales on physical copies is what we're seeing. Like Larry and I, we see those a lot, where a physical copy will be, marked down to whatever price, or you can get it at GameStop used for a lot cheaper. I mean, a lot of times GameStop will even have like a download code for something for $59.99, but they'll have a physical new copy, sealed new copy for $20. Or even a used copy for $29.99. You're like, you got a brand new one for $19.99. So there is kind of this disparity going on right now, and we're kind of figuring this out.
For console, you can kind of get around it, like if you shop at a G2A or something like that.
Right.
There's like a couple of ways around it, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, like especially with Xbox, I don't own a single physical game except for the Halos on Xbox, because I also get them for PC. So like if I buy it digitally, I get it for both. If I buy it for just the Xbox, I get it for just the Xbox, which is garbage. And then I will say, like any collector's edition, like if it's the game I really want, I buy that shit physical. Like if I could get a collector's edition, like I have been looking for this amiibo.
Yay! I got that.
Okay. Like,
nice.
And I wasn't willing to spend the $50 they sell for Amazon.
Is that what it's fucking up to now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Larry, these amiibos, man, they've gone through the roof.
You
got a small fortune sitting there to your right.
Yeah.
So, and I thought about not opening it, but I was like, no, dude, I bought it
you gotta open it.
Yeah, I bought it because I want to fucking play with it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And Twilight Princess is my favorite Legend of Zelda, like hands down. I mean, Ocarina of Time, close second, but Twilight Princess shit, in my opinion. I know everybody likes to hate on that game, but I don't know why.
Not me.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, so I was at GameStop and like I just asked the dude, I'm like, hey, do you have any used copies of Twilight Princess HD for the Wii U? And he was like, yeah, and like he pulled it out, and it wasn't a new or a used copy, it was a brand new copy with the amiibo.
And
I was like,
used, yeah,
and I was like, bet, and I spent $15 on it, and it was like one of my favorite purchases I've ever made.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Yeah, you did.
Exactly. It's stuff like that is why I still go to like game stores to pick up physical copy. Right. Because like there's stuff that you could get physically that you can't get digitally. Period. Like and something to be said about cracking open a brand new case. smelling that fresh plastic.
Mhm.
Okay, like
Sadly, these days that's
God.
not quite the same as it used to be either.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
yeah, it does. Most games don't. That's the other thing that drove me away from physical is most games don't come with books. They don't come with like
Right.
Yeah.
artwork,
Right. Yeah.
anything anymore. It's just a cover, and then you open it up and you get your disc. Like that.
That's what I miss.
Yeah, like if games were still presented, like if they want to still make physical games and put the work in and like print the books and do the little art things and the little editorial notes and all the cool shit that came with a physical game when I was a kid, I would pay like $80 for a physical copy if I got to have that cool stuff. You
Yeah.
don't get that anymore though. So to me, I'm like, well, I'll only buy physical for a
you
collector's
want.
edition.
Yeah.
I really want.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Hmm.
Everything else I'm buying digitally. Now, Switch, for the most part, I'll buy physical because the price difference doesn't fucking matter.
No.
You know, and like I like having the cases for the Switch, and
Mhm.
you know, I don't know, like they don't really take up a lot of space for the physical games themselves. So, you know, but I all the indie games I buy digitally. So I'm
Yeah, you have
really-
to.
Yeah, I'm in the middle, but like I lean heavily for digital for most of my stuff. Like it's just not the same experience as it used to be for a physical copy.
Hmm.
No,
Right.
it's not. That
Right.
being said, I was going to mention too. A while back, it's been a couple years now, I think, but GameStop had a real short run of a couple of select PC indie games that they did some real nice, almost physical copies of. Axiom Verge, Yoden, there was a few others, and while the game itself was a Steam download code, but they did have like hard copy of the soundtrack in a steelbook case, and it was really fucking cool. I've got the Axiom one, so I've actually got a steelbook of Axiom Verge, just not for Switch. But no, it was a slick little package, and there are still some that do the, that actually give you the manual and the artwork and everything in there, even in their standard editions. You just have to know who you're watching for anymore.
Right.
Like Nicholas is one that's
about
really good about that.
Like I buy all the CD Projekt Red games
Yeah.
physical. You know, because it doesn't matter if you buy the standard edition, it doesn't matter if you buy the collector's edition.
Uh-huh.
You're getting something with that.
Right.
Yeah, there's something worth your money in there.
Right. Like, you know, it's a little thing, but like it goes a long way for me.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, if you're putting in that effort, like Red Dead, I bought like the ridiculous edition, right?
Yeah.
Because I love it. But for the most part, I'm just like, I don't see the worth in my time in driving down to GameStop, picking up the thing, coming back home, putting it in, having to download the fucking game anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and then
Oh yeah,
Or at
yeah,
least
the
half
the
of it
100
anyway.
You're
gigabyte
having to
pad.
download it. Yeah.
like, oh, you download the game or you bought the game, congratulations, put it in the thing. Oh, 50 gig day one pad. Dope.
Mhm.
When I could just pre-download all that shit before midnight the day of.
You know how you
Is-
fix that, right? Just disconnect your system from the internet.
Yeah, but you
No.
still need a day one patch to play the game.
Yeah, it won't let you play it.
Yeah, but if they shipped the game and then put out the day one patch, if you have no internet connection, you should still be able to play it because it doesn't know that it's not missing. It doesn't know that it's missing a patch.
Yeah, but you're not going to get the same experience. That's the whole thing with these damn games now and these consoles.
They
If they're
don't
if you're not connected,
Yeah.
connected to the internet, it's just
You're-
not. You can't even set up your Xbox if you
No.
don't connect it to the internet.
Exactly.
You it's like games aren't coming out as full games anymore either. They're coming out as
No.
fucking betas.
They're
Mhm.
betas. Look at Fallout. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or
You know,
worse
it-
than betas. Technical
Yeah.
alphas.
Like they're
You know, I heard Fallout 76 used to be the bomb, and then that patch hit.
God damn. You're not very punny tonight.
Get out of here.
Ooh,
I'm
Go
drunk.
go home.
No, I'm definitely drunk. I've been hard at it.
Yes, he has. Makes it
I'm-
for interesting. Yeah.
I'm on the fourth glass of this and 2 of these, and yeah, no, I'm into it. Trust me. So, and Josh, let's hear from you.
You did.
Did I? I can't remember which direction I'm going around the circle on my fucking screen. So, all right, so that leaves me, and I've spoken on at length on the subject, but this is where it actually belongs, as we take an adventure into Dylan's refrigerator freezer to get ice cubes.
And now you get to see Dylan how he lives his life. Dylan in real life.
Right. Oh God. So, no, I am all for hard copy every day of the week, anytime and every time, even to my own financial detriment, because like I said, I've bought multiple copies of stuff just to get a hard copy. But again, there's a couple components to that for me. One, Jesus.
Dylan, we can't take you anywhere, can we?
I think we just got kicked off the talk shows and podcast section on Twitch. We just got switched to the IRL. Jesus.
Happy New Year, everybody.
That's right.
Oh Lord. So in any case, but no, there's a couple components to that for me. One being that I am curating a library that will be handed down to my child one day. You know, there will come a point where she's old enough, and if she expressed the interest, I can hand it down to her and go, "Here, this is yours."
But she won't be able to play it.
Sure, she will.
No, she won't. No, she
Why
won't.
wouldn't she be able to play it?
Because it's all going to be destroyed. They'll stop working. They'll be like my grandmother's Atari 7800, which we could never fix.
Maybe for
I don't know,
some stuff.
I think that's a whole different issue.
I've got 30-year-old hardware that still works.
I'm just
so,
I'm kidding.
yeah,
I'm
up to two.
kidding. Oh my gosh, Larry, I'm kidding.
So
I actually, we still have our Intellivision, so, and I know that works. So
exactly.
yes.
Raise your hand if you're excited for the new Intellivision, by the way.
There's a new one?
And the works, yes, sir. Friend of the show, Tommy Tallarico, was named last summer as the new president of Intellivision, and over the last couple months, they have announced and shown their first little press clip for their new console. They're getting back into the market with an exclusive 2D console that is geared for the family audience. They're saying all games on the platform are going to be E or E10, and it's coming in at a decent budget price too. They're aiming for between like 150, 200 max. But yeah, no, I'm actually pretty jazzed to see what comes about of that with Tommy at the helm on that company.
Yeah, it's called the Amico.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
okay, yeah.
It's every game said to be exclusive to the platform and cost less than $8 with no DLC or in-app purchases.
So basically,
That'd
it
be
sounds like it's
interesting.
going to be a little indie machine, which makes me really happy.
Yeah, it says it's going to be between $149 and $179.
Hopefully it does better than the Ouya.
Oh, I know.
That was only $100. Come on.
Dude, I mean, yeah, but it was like supposed to be the indie machine.
Yeah.
I was excited about the Ouya.
I've got it. We want to come over and cry with me for a while. We can bring a bottle of scotch.
I've got a lot of them. I've got a lot of them.
Dylan's got a few he's got to work through anyways.
I'm down 2 of them already over the course of the New Year and Christmas. So I've drank through quite a bit of scotch.
But yeah, another component for me though for the whole physical is that I love the thrill of the hunt. Like, don't get me wrong, I buy games online as a last resort. Like I love spending the time just browsing shops and hoping I find something interesting or something that I've been looking for, because then I get that personal satisfaction of the aha, I found it. You know, the joy of completing a quest search. Dylan's freezer's broken. Oh, Jesus. We're so the IRL channel now. But anyways.
I told you. Oh, whoops. Told you when I got home. I think I gotta be on my phone.
That's all right. But yeah, I mean, at least you did something entertaining with it. Shit.
Yeah.
So
I'm
kudos.
a Moscow Mule without the fancy copper thing.
Yeah.
Moscow.
So, yeah. You know, I just again, you know, the other thing is I like having my actual collection. You know, I like being able to browse my shelf and go, what sounds like fun today? And I also like the idea of being able to, you know, have friends over and sit and hang out and talk. And, you know, they'll browse my collection too. You know, they'll browse my shelf to see what I've got and go, you know, oh, was that any good? I'm like, I liked it. You know, here, you might dig it too. And I can pick it off my shelf and go, here, borrow this.
Try Yono.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
please play this piece of Duplo shit game. An
aspect of having physical copies that, you know, digital copies will never replicate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like I think each of them have like strengths and weaknesses, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's just more convenient. But like, I still have a collection of a shit ton of Super Nintendo games. You know, SNES. Still have my Nintendo 64 with my favorite game of all time, Conker's Bad Fur Day. You know, there's just some things that are like nostalgic like that. You know, that like it's fun to like whip out your old Nintendo 64. Forget that you have to buy a fucking adapter now. Go get an adapter, come back, hook you know, and then play Conker's Bad Fur Day on what is not a, you know, a full-size screen, broken up into like 4 boxes with 4 friends using a really weird controller, and having a great time. You know, there's definitely some awesomeness to that, and showing off your collection is always nice.
Yeah.
Well, see, and that brings up a good point. You guys, those were your games. They were never my games. They were always my brother's games that I got to play.
Right.
So he basically got to keep the collection. So that might explain why for me I'm not so particular to the physical, because I could never keep them. They weren't mine. And he, you know, so there's oh my God. Sorry, I got distracted by puppy. But I love dogs. They're so cute. Okay, anyhow, but no, I mean, the Super Nintendo, not mine. My brother has them. He has the Sega Genesis, the Sega 32X. He has the Dreamcast. He has the Sega Saturn. He has the PlayStations 1, 2, 3, 4. He has the Xboxes, all the consoles. He has the Atari Lynx. He has the Game Boys. He has everything else. I was never allowed to have all that stuff, and so he has everything. I don't have it. So for me, physical stuff doesn't matter. The digital, so why bother having it if there's that kind of disconnect with it?
Right. I'm thinking she doesn't like the
sense.
physical stuff, guys, because everything physical has been taken from her in her life.
Yeah.
And this digital, she can hoard all this digital stuff.
And it's in a little tiny box.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, and nothing against it. It was just
We've gotten to the root of your psychological problem.
You guys, Thank you so much. No.
Freud would call this a breakthrough and then bill you.
Now, I did have the Nintendo 64 that I did finally purchase on my own against my parents' wishes. But, I was in college at that time and I was in a difficult major, so I didn't get to play it as often. Plus, Ocarina of Time kicked my ass at that time. But, it just, by then, it didn't, gaming just wasn't as big of a part of my life anymore. So now it's my whole frickin' family. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
What?
Never mind. I don't want to know. But, now my whole family, we all are gamers, but digital is the way we go now, except for Nintendo. So, damn my brother. I love him, but damn him.
Yeah. So, and the last thing too, and we touched on some is that I love opening it up and digging into all the fun stuff in the box. And granted, I am not super selective about which companies I do and don't buy a hard copy from, because again, I will get physical every time whenever it's an option, even if it's just bare bones. But that being said, there are those that I do get more excited about than others. Like I said, the Nicholas ones, even their standard editions, are always fucking fun to open because they're almost always literally like overflowing with shit. Like the package is bulged out because they crammed so much stuff into this little fucking case, which is awesome. Cave Story and Tiny Barbarian were great for that, especially. Which both of those are phenomenal games in their own right, anyways, and you should buy them. But those are ones that I highly recommend. If you can find a hard copy of, get a hard copy of, because they're packed full of cool shit. They also did Binding of Isaac and The End Is Nigh. All of which had really fucking cool stuff in the box. I was like, sweet. So
you're not buying the game. You're buying the additional stuff, and that's so.
Oh no, I'm buying the game because when I know.
But I'm saying, but it sounds like you're buying more the swag, and instead of just for the game, not like it used to be. So you're really not buying just the physical copy. You're buying everything that comes along with it, right?
Well, I'm buying.
So you're not.
Game,
so you're not really buying. Like I said, it's not all about physical. It's about all the stuff you get with it.
Not necessarily. Like I said,
yes.
The ones that are going to have the cool shit with it, I get more excited about because I know that there's cool stuff coming with it, but I like having my big collection on my shelf. So, it's swag is, it's like any collector's edition, even though like for Nicholas, this is all standard edition stuff, but it's like any collector's edition. You get excited because you're getting extra stuff too, on top of the game that you're already excited for. So, and for me, there's something to be said for just the ritualistic action of getting up in the morning and going, my game's out today. I'm going to get excited and I'm going to put my pants on and I'm going to go get it. And then I'm going to get excited about it on the way home. And then I'm going to get home and I'm going to open it up and I'm going to sit and I'm going to fucking play all day. Versus just, rolling over in bed going, click. There's my game. No, I like the ritual.
Communicate or commune with the other nerds there for the.
Yeah. I'll tell you though, some of them can be real creepy.
Oh, some of them can, but again, it's all part of the fucking adventure too.
Like, imagine if you were there and you saw Larry coming at you. He'd be like, "All right."
Oh, I'd be like, "Bring it, bitch! Come on."
So. And then I look at you and be like, all right, motherfucker, bring it in. Bring it in.
Yep.
Come on. So, but yeah, no, like I said, there's a number of components to it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are things that, if so help me God, if I have any say in it, I will never be rid of those elements, and if I have no say in it, then I will be fucking just heartbroken the day that it finally dies. So
I don't think though it will die. I think there's enough people that still, even to this day, because like you said, you are creating this collection for your daughter, and you're instilling that appreciation of the physical copies of games to her. And a lot of us gamers are doing that. My kids and I, we love going to the stock and just looking at all of the old Nintendo games, the Super Nintendo games, and looking at the cartridges. And there is that appreciation for those physical copies. So I don't think there's any danger of it happening at any time soon, because you're always going to have that that market for it. They're just going to be it's going to be different in how it is presented.
Right.
Which it'll probably move to a more collector's kind of thing.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's going to be all on SD cards, like what Nintendo's doing. I could see moving completely to SD cards.
I don't even think they'll do that. I think at some point it's going to become like a digital only, and then you can buy like the physical collectors,
the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. Like something to, commemorate, the game that you love, for your collection. I think there's just going to be collections, and I don't even think big stores will sell them. I think it'll be like, stuff like what's online right now,
or the gift cards.
There is actually some trend in that recently in the last couple months, and that was something I was going to be getting at here in just a second too. Is limited run games, who I love and adore for what they do, not just in what they do, but in the quality in which they do it with.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, limited run games has struck a partnership with Best Buy, where Best Buy is now carrying some of the limited run game stuff in small quantities in their physical retail stores. One of the first ones I saw that you can pick up now, if you manage to catch it before it's sold out, was you could walk in and you could buy a copy of Golf Story printed by Limited Run Games at Best Buy.
Hmm.
I'm awesome. Like, fuck yeah! And on top of that too, the ones that are going to Best Buy have alternate covers, and Limited Run is supposed to be making those alternate covers available to those that already purchased from their website for like a whole 99 cents. So totally fucking respectable. And again, there's a market for that, and I think Limited Run has done probably the best job out of anybody to really dial in their game on how to run that. There's a couple of other contenders out there. There's Super Rare Games that has a fairly similar business model to Limited Run, but Limited Run kind of got in at the ground floor and made a name for themselves. Super Rare hasn't done quite as much of that yet, but they're heading that way. And then you've got other ones like that aren't necessarily super short prints, but a little more specific. Signature Edition, who I was super thrilled with my copy of Dead Cells from them. Their collector's edition of that was phenomenal. And even Fangamer has dipped their toes into that a little bit with the likes of Undertale, and I think one or two others, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I need to go back. I haven't peeked at their page lately. But, and what's really cool, too, is with Fangamer, to know where that website and where that company got its start was literally as one of the most dedicated and passionate fan communities on the internet. For those not familiar, Fangamer was born out of Starmen. That was the Earthbound fan community that got together and inevitably became Fangamer, just doing really cool handmade shit and selling it online, which is awesome, because now they've gone on to spectacular things, from just like nifty little video game knickknacks to, now publishing awesome collector's editions like what they did with Undertale. And so to see that grow into what it has been really fucking super cool.
Mhm.
It just shows that when there is enough passion and dedication in a community of fans, even when the company that they love just does not love them back, to see them rise up and make something awesome out of it, that is fucking tremendous. And hats off and cheers to you guys. But in any case, that's there's a part of me that I there's a big part of me that just prays that we don't ever see the end of it, and that there are forever and ever places like Fangamer and Signature and Super Rare and LRG that keep it going until the end of the industry, when the last video game is put onto shelves, and one day the final clearance copy of some terrible budget game that couldn't sell to save its life finally clears out of a store shelf somewhere, that there'll have been physical copies to the end. So, but
That was so beautiful.
shut up, ruin my moment. Fuck you. God damn it.
Larry is the introspective drunk.
Yeah.
Right back at you. I was being
I'm
serious.
so glad I've been
I'm so much in trouble.
games, because I didn't even know about them until you guys,
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I had no idea about it. Like, I'm probably gonna pick up this Celeste because I really, really like that game.
I would say standard editions are still available, but get your order in, by the way, because again, even though it's open pre-order, it's only open for a certain number of days.
Yeah, and then it's shut down.
Right, because that's how they figure out how many copies they have to print.
Yep.
Yeah,
Put it
I
in order
just
for.
that already happened.
So
I don't know what
Yeah.
Tumbleweed Park is, but that's sold out. So,
dude, I've got Thimbleweed Park.
oh, Thimbleweed Park.
Yeah. It's old school
Adventure
think
game.
like
Yep.
So, and it's funnier and shit too. That game's a riot.
The golf story game I haven't even heard about, but I can get the limited run version of it at Best Buy. They have it at our Best Buy.
Yeah. Golf Story is actually really fucking awesome. It is the second greatest golf game of all time.
I love golf.
What
games.
is the first?
I love golf.
True Swing Golf on the original DS.
Never played.
My favorite golf game was an arcade golf game where you would roll the ball like the bowling.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, Golden Tee.
Golden Tee.
Yeah, dude. Yes, I love that.
That was fun. Yes.
My
Golden
uncle.
Tee is like the Madden series of golf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my uncle owned an arcade when I was a kid. In
Lucky.
And so, like, I got to play for free there all the time, and it was awesome. Like, I'd spend hours playing
Oh my God, you are so lucky.
Combat and the Simpsons game, and
Ah.
um, so like that's what I miss really more than
Mhm.
physical copies. I miss arcade. Like, and with the
Mhm.
way that like current like gamers are now, I feel like arcades could make a strong fucking comeback. Like, if
They
they
could.
actually,
Mhm.
put
Yeah.
in the, like, make more arcades, and like not even necessarily barcades. Like, barcades are cool, but like I kind of don't necessarily need there to be alcohol. Like, I don't necessarily like. I want an arcade where you serve beer and or alcoholic beverages, but that's not the primary focus of the arcade.
Well,
All
I
right.
think
So, two things, Dylan. One, you're so coming with us on the next Chicago trip, so that we can go do Galloping Ghosts. You're gonna fucking love Galloping Ghosts, dude.
Ooh.
Interested? Never heard of it.
It's somewhere between like 15 to 25 bucks for the day. And it's this building that is literally packed to the point where I'm pretty sure it has not been approved by the fucking city fire marshal. I'm not kidding you. The aisles are so fucking tiny. But goddamn, dude, it is literally nothing but fucking arcade machines. Old, new, import, weird, bizarre, fucking everything. Dude,
Dylan,
I got to pick off one of my bucket list games at Galloping Ghost last year.
What was it?
They had the F-Zero AX arcade machine.
Wow.
And not just stand up,
Wow.
full-blown fucking cockpit on rails, the whole thing, fucking pivots, spins it. Oh my god!
I want Dave Busters, but more arcade focused. That's what I want. Like
that's
David
basically
Buster's
this. I mean, you're not really getting the alcohol. You're basically getting pure fucking arcade until your fucking eyes bleed out with awesome.
I don't want that. Like, give me that. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested in an arcade. That's like one of the big things. Like me and my wife, for our honeymoon, we were going to go to Japan, but like we were short some money, so we didn't go. But like that's still one of the things that we want to do because we're fucking nerds. And we want to go to like we're giant anime fans, so we want to check out like all the anime stuff, and then there's arcades out the ass in Japan. Now, can I read the language? No, but my wife is a nerd and she can. So
Galloping Ghost has a imported Japanese Metal Gear Solid arcade machine.
Dude, what?
Damn.
Like, it's bizarre, dude. It's got like this weird, it's a fucking light gun game, dude. It's got this insane fucking rifle and everything. I can't read a fucking lick of it, but damned if I didn't play it. I'm sitting there playing like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I understand nothing, but I'm playing this.
Yeah, dude. Whenever you're going next, because I think Brooke and I are going to Chicago in April, so if you're available, we could make a run.
Yeah, and shit, and then at that point too, we can go drag Eddie out too.
Oh yeah.
So
do it.
But yeah, no, Galloping Ghost is something you should definitely come do with us. And the other thing is that coming to town here, in theory, in the next 6 to 8 months, is supposed to be a barcade coming to South Bend.
I'm excited, but I'm cautiously optimistic because
I'm in the same boat.
Barcades, and so far, like I've been to one badass barcade. The rest were garbage.
Yeah.
The quarter, like the quarter return didn't work, or like it was a couple of like, fuck, man. What is that? Pinball machines and like Pac-Man and like a couple of like very generic arcade
machines, though. That's part of why I love Mega Play over there at Town and Country.
Oh, dude, yeah.
They got that whole wall of fucking pinball machines in the back. It's amazing.
Yeah. But, when you're going to an arcade, you want more than pinball machines. And you want them all to work correctly.
Right. No kidding.
Yes.
But I went to an awesome arcade when I was in, I think it was Minnesota. And that one was a lot of fun. And I got shit-faced. And, yeah, it was a great time. My wife had to pull me out of there. I spent way. So, yeah, I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic for what's coming.
Yeah. But when it does show up here, you and I are fucking going.
Oh, yeah. Facts.
So, we have to go and pass judgment upon it. So
we can blog it.
Right.
IRL. There you go.
Actually, as a matter of fact, I need to reach out and see if I can get in touch with the guys that are working on it and get them to come on.
Yeah.
So
that'd be cool. Yeah.
But in any case, I think we've drawn this out long enough. So I think here's where we're going to wrap, and I'm going to say thank you to everyone that tuned in on the live stream to join us. If you're listening to our normal recording that goes up on Fridays, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys coming back and putting up with our nonsense every week. And we're glad you're here listening to the best podcast that none of your friends are fucking listening to. And as always, thank you to my partners in crime, Kathy and Josh and Dylan and Jonathan Frakes. So,
you're right there.
Yep. And as always, you can find us at our home on Podbean at world11.podbean.com, all spelled out, all one word. Check out the shiny Twitch channel that Kathy's put all kinds of love and work into over at on twitch.tv / world11 podcast, all spelled out, all one word. You can also, of course, catch us on Spotify, Google Play Music. I'm working on fixing iTunes. There will be a new feed up, and there will be links to everything on Facebook and Twitter and the Twitch page, actually. And I'll probably put something on the YouTube page and everywhere else, basically, so that you can find us wherever the fuck you want to listen to us. And then, of course, you can like us on Facebook. As we go into the new year, there's going to be... once we get settled into a routine here with all the new peeps, we're going to have some sweet content going up on the Facebook page that you're not going to want to miss, and then we'll make sure that we've got some different content going up on the Twitter page as well, so that way you can, whatever is your cup of tea, you can get something different and interesting rather than just feeling like you're seeing the same shit reposted over and fucking over again, because that's just dull. So, anyways, that's it for us at World 1-1, and we'll see you all next week. Good night.
All right.
Good night.
Peace.
Peace.